You are listening to the Berry Thoughtful Life Coaching Podcast with relationship life coach Kanisha Berry. You will be empowered, uplifted, and encouraged. Now, here's your host, Kanisha.
Hello, Berry Thoughtfuls. Today, I want to share with you some attributes of a good man. Listen, I know we all are looking for something different, and perhaps you don't agree with the things that I consider a good man, and that is okay. Feel free to reach out to me through my website and share your thoughts with me. But here are a few that I think make a good man. One, I believe a good man works. And I'm not talking about that he must have a job, right? But it must be in him to work. I remember early in my life when I was younger and starting to date and talking to my father about dating. My father said something that stuck with me. He says, Kanisha, you can't teach a man to work. It's either in him or it's not. So you want to attach yourself and be in relationship with a man who's willing to work. Simply because of this, we all know that in order to live in this life, it requires some form of income, right? And if this man refuses to work, then who's going to provide? Who's going to take care of him? Because he will not be able to take care of you. And at the very least, if you're not looking for that someone who can take care of you and provide for you, you want to be careful of the person that you have to provide for. So I say that a good man is willing to work, like it's in him. He desires to accomplish something, to have a purpose, to build, to change, to do something either with his hands, his head, where there is productivity in his life. A second attribute that I think makes a good man is that he is a provider, that there's a desire in him to provide for someone, whether it's his family, his wife, his children, but that he realizes that everything he does and every dollar he makes isn't just for himself, that he sees purpose in providing. A third thing I think is super important is integrity. Does he do what he say he will do? Is he the same behind closed doors as he is in public? I think that's just a good attribute for any person. But it's definitely, if you're in the dating scene or you're looking to be, again, in relationship with a person, whether it's partnership in business, in starting, a club, whatever it is that you may be having to, even with a coworker, be in relationship with. You want to deal with people who operates in integrity, because it's very hard to trust a person who doesn't have that. And the last attribute that I really want to give attention to is I want you to pay attention to the way and the language that he uses. I believe a good man uses kind words, particularly towards women. I'm very leery of a man who uses a lot of curse words, who's hostile with his language, and will speak to a woman any kind of way. And even, I've seen times where women will say things like, well, he talks like that to her, but he doesn't talk like that to me. I really believe like what you do one way, you do always. And so just because it hasn't shown up yet to you doesn't mean it won't. And even in something as simple as rap music, right? I never was big on a rapper who would call a woman a bitch. Because my thing is, any man who would use that word to devalue a woman, eventually, if he uses it for any woman, he'll use it for you. So be wary of a man who uses harsh language towards any woman, but pay attention to the type of language he uses when he's talking to people. Because it may be saying a lot about not only his character, but his personality and the way he handles disagreement or anger. And do you really want to put up that kind of language being geared towards you? So these are just a few things I thought I wanted to share about when you're thinking about dating or connecting yourself to a man and ways to discover a good man. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I fully appreciate you taking your time to listen to Very Thoughtfuls. So will you do me a favor? If this has been, this podcast or any other podcast that I've shared has helped you at all, will you please share it out? Will you let people know about the Very Thoughtful podcast? And also go to my website, verythoughtfullife.com, and get my free ebook, Miracle Mindset, because you will learn that the way you think produces your outcomes. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I am Kenesha Berry. Again, Very Thoughtful Life.